Hi.
Hello. Hello, Brits.
So is this like what do we call this?
This is
That's
our, like, I guess, not new year, but you have turned a new year. I'm coming up
on a
on
new
a new year. So, like, lessons of this Leo solar return. I don't know.
sure. Our new chapter
There we go. I
slash
like
season 3 recap.
recap. Okay. So we here.
We are here. We are here. You want to start with season 3?
Sure, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's start with season 3. Oh, it's 11/11. Ashe.
Ooh, good vibes. Okay. So, favorite episode or episodes and why?
So I have two. Breaking down isolation
Mm.
and narcissistic abuse. And I think I liked breaking down isolation so much because I feel like we gave a perspective like that was just real.
Mm.
It wasn't like, oh, in order to learn yourself, you just gotta. I feel like we talked a lot about like the negatives of it and how to like keep that balance. Because I feel like a lot of people do go in and out of phases where like we go into hermit mode or we just don't feel like being social or whatever. And it's associated negatively. Or it's associated with this is just something you do, but we don't really talk about like the ups and downs when you're in isolation because it's not always easy. It's necessary, but it's just not always easy. So I just liked how we gave like both sides to each. And I feel like a lot of people like responded to that one. They were saying that it was like very helpful and that they didn't feel as bad when they did need to retract versus where they had a lot of guilt with it before and stuff like that. So I like the perspective we gave from that episode. And then with narcissistic abuse, I just felt like Joy enlightened me on so many levels. Like she just broke it down in a way that I was like, damn, it sounds so simple and it looks so vivid hearing her talk about it. But when you're in that situation,
Yeah.
you never really notice that stuff. But to be able to like be in hindsight and look and be like, damn, like I really experienced that. And to feel okay with like the decisions you had to make to like remove yourself, it was just like eye-opening and just like very like reaffirming for me. So like that episode was everything. I felt like a student just sitting there listening.
So agreed. I'll go ahead and start with narcissistic abuse being one of my favorites for all the reasons you just named. It was so eye-opening. And then with me being in the mental health field, I get really frustrated when people misuse terms or just say stuff because they heard somebody else say it. So I love how she like broke it down so people can really know like what a narcissist is versus like people just be saying it and don't know what they talking about. I just felt like I learned so much about that whole thing because like you said, you kind of don't realize that you have probably been around some, experienced some, been connected to some in whether relationship or friendship or family relationship. So the only thing I can think of is eye opening. Like that's what keeps coming to mind. It was just so enlightening on so many levels. My second, I'm not gonna say second. I'm gonna say my other favorite episode was Dating Our Dads.
I knew you was gonna
and it was so good because I like that we were able to praise our fathers, but we were also able to acknowledge like their shortcomings or things that they probably should have tried to figure out a little earlier in life without bashing them. Like I feel like overall it was like a really, really positive episode. And that's one of the episodes that I felt like people said something like, oh my gosh, like I never realized XYZ, or that's so true. Like I do see those traits in my partner from my father. So yeah, I just love that episode because I feel like I don't know. I feel like our generation is really breaking curses, but you know, it can be hard to look at your parents in that way, especially if y'all have at least like a decent relationship. I'm not even gonna say good. And you know, Black people, we just think your mother and your father are like God, so you're not supposed to say
Yeah.
anything negative about them. When in reality, I mean, all of us have faults and shortcomings. So I just really enjoyed the episode for, yeah, it was just positive overall. No matter how we talked about them, it was good.
Yeah. I think my dad be listening on the low to like the certain stuff, because he'll like, I don't know, he'll say little stuff like here and there. And I feel like when I saw him recently at the family reunion, he just made the comment that, because you know how we are, we daddy's girls. So it's
Like
like,
all the way.
make sure like they always proud, like that
Yeah.
what we're, like they see us like really using the tools that they gave us. And so he made the comment that he really like sees the vision of like what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he made a comment. It was referencing something in the episode, and I was like, I think he listened, and he really like, he's like seeing me as like an individual, not just his daughter now. So that was like, that was really good for me, like to be able to like have a conversation with him, because it took some of the pressure off too, to hear him say that. So
yes, like I'm an individual. I'm not just your child. Like I'm an adult. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I get it. What is something that you feel like you learned about yourself in conversations we've had on the episodes? Like anything from a particular episode that you kind of dive into and you were like, oh shit, like.
I feel like our conversation, love language dysfunctions, as we were doing that episode, I was having like aha moments. I felt like,
okay,
because I was explaining like my own love language, and then like saying that out loud kind of made me see like my own habits, the way that I like respond in love that weren't necessarily like healthy, and that like I needed to check, like I just needed to check within myself. And I feel like that's allowed me to approach my connections with more rationale now, like not being led by how I feel mostly, but like adding like the logic behind like what I'm feeling and why, because of the way that I express love. So that one was very like, I felt like as we were doing that one, I was literally like, oh shoot, like this is why, and da da da. So that was a good one. What about you?
It's so weird because it's like things I've talked about in therapy. Like recently, I've made connections from like stuff we talked about. So like making the right decision. So my therapist and I were having a conversation, and she was like, she was like, Brittany, even if you don't feel like it, she was like, I don't feel like you're a person where somebody can say you made a haste or like a rash decision, because she was like, I feel like you think things like 10 times over. And so she was like, while it might be frustrating, she was like, you can at least always say to some degree you tried to think things through. So it was kind of confirmation for me, because I do get frustrated with myself on trying to do things right. But in hindsight, I'm like, I'm really not the type to just be doing shit just because. So I was like, I have to like stop putting pressure on myself to make sure like everything is freaking lined up, and just realize like I usually do all the work anyway, because I'm sitting there thinking about it, and I'm sitting there trying to be mature and rationalize how I do stuff. So I was just like, that's what we was talking about in that damn episode. So I was like, I really, really, really have to chill out. The self-image episode. What was I talking about in therapy? Just like the pressure I put on myself to not be like disappointing to others or like hurting other people. So kind of going with that whole decision-making thing. And it just made me think about how all three of us were pretty much saying how it can really be difficult from day to day to not just think of ourselves in like that negative light or based on things that we have done that we're not proud of. And I really feel like since I've talked about certain stuff, even stuff that's happened in my childhood, I'm really getting to a place where, you know, I can like confidently say and recognize, like, you know, I did stuff because I had to, or I did stuff because it was, you know, the best decision for me, or I did something because, you know, I realized a situation was no longer safe for me to be in. So it's kind of like just making connections to stuff that I've said before or stuff that I wanted to work on. And now I feel like I'm at a place where it's kind of like, okay, we're getting from point A to point B. Like, we're not just hoping that these things come to fruition. Like, I feel like we're actually getting there. So yeah.
To humor you and confirm and just affirm you, because it's been some times I done brought some stuff to the plate and you like, Shawana, no.
The ma'am.
So you are not, you have, or nor have you ever been somebody who's just going to be like, oh, you know, why
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, let's do the thing. Not so much now. Not so much now because of my like recent past experience.
Oh,
I'm like prone to like take that shit slow. That's easing into stuff. I'm rushing ahead because that was gonna be one of my things that I talked about, like as we are aging, our next birthday or whatever. But I am really learning to like just ease into stuff. It feels a lot better. So yeah, you definitely are somebody who thinks things through and want to make sure that things are on point. So yeah. If that really,
I hate it, but hearing her, the way she like broke it down, I was like, I guess that is more of a pro than a con, because sometimes I just be like, I wish I could just do shit and just be like, fuck it. But that is like, that's never been my personality, like ever. So yeah.
That shit is only cool in certain
like literally, like in hindsight, I'm like, you know, sometimes that shit work, but yeah, no, it's just never been me. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Whatever.
So can we first just, okay, so guys, if you've been following us for a while, both of us are Leos, very much so loud and proud about it. Leo's, but okay, Brittany's birthday has just recently passed on the 4th, and my birthday is coming up on the 16th. So I even like the numbers, you know what I'm saying, the way that works.
Get out my head. I was just thinking that.
Yes. So one thing we did want to talk about is just things that, I don't know, Brittany, what that we have like learned as we've aged, like things that we are taking with us, things that maybe we're not taking with us. I'll let you start since your birthday has come already.
So for me, like, and I maybe because my parents had me older, I don't know. I have always had this, even outside of like, oh, I want to be grown so I can do stuff. I have always had this love for getting older. And I keep telling like people who are around me that aren't in their 30s yet, I'm like, 30s are fucking bomb. I can't wait to turn 40. Like, I have literally always been that way. Like, some of the things that come with age, I feel like are so beautiful and priceless. And whether that be just, you know, being at a different point in life, mentally, spiritually, financially, it's just kind of like, I just feel like a lot of things, especially for just like myself, have just gotten better over time. So I feel like the more into 30 I get, I just become more appreciative of the fact that I am aging, but I'm like very much so enjoying the fact that I am getting older. Like, I just think it's just so bomb. What else? I would say in me healing like a lot of childhood stuff, I am just so hopeful for just seeing my progress. Like, I'm usually a person like, I need a deadline, I need a date, I need to, like, it needs to be in black and white. I feel like I am now more so appreciative of the process to get to the other side. Whereas before I used to hate the process. But now that I'm seeing the benefits, I'm able to recognize where I have changed. I'm able to see where I have changed. I'm able to recognize that, you know, I was about to say 22 and 32, but hell, 29, 30 is different than who I am right now. I just think it's something beautiful about getting older and being able to see like where you are versus where you come from, and not even in the sense of like what you have, but just as a person. I'm just really enjoying seeing where I am, like, and who I've become, because I can see that the differences are huge now, I feel like. So it's really noticeable to me who I am now versus who I used to be, or things that used to affect me that don't, or things that I've had to change or, you know, fix about myself that, you know, needed tending to. So I feel like I'm starting to get to the other side of like, wow, I really did that shit. So yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I feel like same as far as like how 30 is even really different from now, like to like really a lot different. I know for me, the way that I used to internalize has completely changed. Like I have like I feel like I've really learned, and I think a part of this is too is because my spiritual practices are a lot more disciplined now. I know what's my energy. I know what's not like I don't take much personal anymore, but I have learned to really like let people exist with me.
Right.
Like
right.
I don't that has allowed me to really like have healthy boundaries. And it has also, one of my favorite things, has allowed me to like let go without falling apart because I have to let some shit go, or walking away from something. I was going to tweet this yesterday. Like, I don't have to wait until you violate me to let you go. Like I can lean on my subtle small flags red flags that I've seen. I can go based off of literally listening to what you're saying and letting that be what it is versus an experience I had with you, or a feeling that I have, or the nonverbal communication. I can choose to go off what's healthy and go off what's tangible, and you know, just that whole perception of like how I show up for myself and like how I show up for people. And I feel like it's really 31 going into 32 has really been about me like standing in my personal power. And I feel like the better and the more healthy that I show up for myself, I show up for my friends more better in that way. I don't have anxiety about letting my friends down, because that was one of my things too. Like I never want to same thing. I don't want to disappoint the people around me. Like I really am doing things with good intentions, but when your mind is all over the place and when you're not taking care of yourself first, or standing, you know, operating confidently, those subconscious fears start becoming your reality, and not even on purpose. So like really learning to just like trust who I am as a person, love who I am as a person, allow myself to be that person with the people who like really support me. So that's like been like one of my number one favorite things, like my ability to just coexist and to like flow with ease. And then I think that was all of it. I think I jumbled all my 2 bullets together. So yeah, that was it.
Yeah, it's just nice to be like on this side of things. And I think for so long, for both of us, for different reasons and similar reasons, it seemed like it was so far away, or like you kind of wonder like, is shit always going to be like this? So it's definitely like a sigh of relief to be like, I did the work to get here. Because let me reiterate, that process that process is not anything to be like, you know, oh, like, you know, this is gonna be super easy. Yeah, we're gonna like figure this out like by next month. Like that work be on some other shit, like for real. Like it is like heart-wrenching sometimes. So it is really, 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 really nice to just be on this side, and just like even like the self-love of just like knowing who you are, like appreciating like yourself. Just it's just so different. It's so nice. Like I really, 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 I really enjoy this side. Yeah, literally. I literally am just like, wow, this is so freaking different. So yeah. What do you hope to do in your next chapter? Anything you're looking forward to doing or trying in your next chapter?
Visually,
that you can speak on.
I was about to say.
that you can.
I'm about to say, I have a million visions, but one thing that I feel like is going to keep me just like continuing to like take like flow into what I see. I just want to really take what I'm taking with me is to continue to take my time with the stuff that I love and the people that I love. Like I don't know. I just feel like it's anxiety. We feel like we're like, if we feel something is supposed to happen, there's like you said, a time limit. There's a deadline. I need to see this happen by this time, or this means that. Like really allowing time to do is staying like with whatever I'm doing, whether that's being a mom, whether that's, transitioning to new careers, whether that's being a business partner or a friend. Like I like really just like taking my time, because when I do that, all that having to like remove yourself or like the big shifts, it's like people kind of just fall off on their own, and things just kind of come together and fall into place. It's like I hate to sound cliche, everybody's talking about life with ease right now, but for real, like just easing with the life, not saying that eliminates, because I'm always give both sides. That does not eliminate obstacles, that does not eliminate having feelings up and down, but it's just easier to transition of the ebbs and flows of life. So I do want to just take like that patience piece with me, because I feel like I wasn't always balanced with patience before. So what about you?
I don't know. And for the first time, I am kind of okay with the fact that I don't know. I told Brandon the other day, this always happens around my birthday. I'm always like, what's next? What should I be doing next? Like, what should I focus on next? And I don't really have an answer. So he asked me again, did I come up with anything? And I told him, I was like, I prayed about it. And I was like, for whatever reason, I was like, I'm not expecting to get an answer anytime soon. And part of me just kind of feels like I just have to learn to enjoy life without feeling like I need to be doing something. Yeah, like what am I doing? Why am I not doing anything? So that's kind of where I am. Lord knows, I wish I could just delete all my social media accounts.
Yeah, me too. Oh God.
Oh my God. Like literally, if I could just have like one personal page to just see stuff every now and then, check in on my favorite celebrities, that'd be wonderful. But yeah, I really I have no desire to like jump into anything, like start new. I'm not there, and I'm okay with it. Wherever my focus is supposed to be, I keep telling myself it will find me, I will find it, whatever the case may be. But I think I am at a point where I just need to learn to be okay with not doing multiple things at one time. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to whatever is next in this new chapter that obviously I can't prepare for or anything, because I have no idea what it is. I don't know. I have no clue what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm just trying to enjoy this growth, this progress, and yeah, not skip over it like I usually do, because I feel like I accomplish stuff or achieve stuff and then I'm like, all right, so what we doing next? So yeah, trying to, have some gratitude about where I have landed or where I am right now, and preparing myself for whatever arises. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think that's a beautiful place to be, because that means you're completely present. That means you are completely present. That means you are, and you're fulfilled. Like even though you don't know what you want to do next, like there's nothing, not that there's nothing wrong, but like there's just peace and there's love. So like that's the goal. Like that's dope.
Thank you. Because I usually always feel like something is missing. I'm always like, oh my God, I have to do something. Like I feel a void. Like I feel like I'm not doing enough. But yeah, I am not feeling that anxious shit. Let me figure out something to do real quick. Like I'm not feeling that. So this is a very nice place to be, to say the least, for sure.
I love that for you.
Thank you. I appreciate
I've
it.
heard some words, but I'll talk to you about that after we get off.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
I'm when you said that, but it has nothing to do with what you're working towards. It's all about like literally just being here. So yeah, it has nothing to do with yeah. So
okay.
Anyway, I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we need to like talk about on this episode?
Any topics you feel like we haven't touched on, but maybe we should consider exploring them for season 4?
So, well, we talked about it with Chris previously. We talked about like poly relationships.
Okay.
But more so,
have somebody on.
Yes, I feel like we should have a guest, like somebody who's actually experienced it though.
Okay. No,
I feel like it's a lot of, when we was at your birthday party, okay, when y'all was talking about like the shows, I just feel like we need to like dive into like these damn different dynamics. Like, is it like I really want to like venture into that, but because I ain't, you know, I had my little experience, whatever. I don't know nothing about this stuff, but I'm very intrigued by it. So I would love for us to like dive into that a little bit with somebody who like knows. Yeah.
I'm down. I always, anything that is not no, anything that's like relationship based, I love talking about stuff like that. I'm trying to think. So one thing that I keep saying is, I was telling Brandon the other day, I was like, it kind of sucks because when Brandon and I think of like hanging with other married people, it's like my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, and I'm like, it's crazy. But I realized just from like, whether it's me like looking at stuff on social media or even like some of the shows I watch, I would love, so separate from poly, like people who actually want to be in a monogamous marriage. I am just so interested to hear people's views because I feel like Brandon and I were having a conversation the other day about how, you know, we kind of had to make marriage what it was because neither one of us come from married households. Like, I'm really just interested because sometimes I see shit and I just be like,
what am I weak? I don't even know what you about to say. Go ahead.
Like, you know, before you got married, like, what is the thought process? And then, you know, I see people that I went to school with who are like, I mean, they've been together forever, you know, per social media, they look like they have like, you know, a pretty decent, good marriage. Just like, I just want to know people's thoughts on like marriage and stuff that's like appropriate and not appropriate, because I feel like at one point people kind of had like similar thoughts and ideas about it, but now I just see some shit and I'm like, well, you know, y'all like it, I love it, and I just be like, is this where we are? Like, do people take it serious? Like, are people getting married so they can like post on social media and be like, I have a husband? Brittany? You know, it's like the spectrum is so large. Like, I literally just have no clue about what marriage just, it really baffles me. Like, and I'm not even speaking from a place of like my marriage being perfect, but some of the stuff I see, I'm just like, okay, I guess this is where we are in life, but like, what in the hell? Like, why even be married? So I just, you know, I don't know.
That's what I was about to say. I don't understand why some people are choosing to even become into union, because Man, that social media is a wild place right now.
That is a perfect word. It literally is just like the wilderness. Like it literally is a jungle. Like
I feel like it's nothing sacred about it anymore. Like
nothing.
It's just
So,
that was a revelation I had with myself recently though, because I honestly didn't know if I ever wanted to get married again. I didn't know that, and I think I do. I think I would very much so enjoy.
Good. You should.
Just because of how much of a family person I am.
Yeah. Don't listen to me. I'm pro-marriage. I'll tell anybody to get married.
but even seeing, like, okay, you was talking about you and Brandon's marriage. Y'all, to me, y'all don't have a traditional marriage, but y'all have values and morals in y'all's marriage. So
right.
The fact that y'all two are very much so individuals, but then y'all are a unit as well. Like, I feel like y'all show me that I can find some bliss in marriage and that it doesn't feel like prison. And
thank you.
You know, my past experience was just, oh my God. But anyway, so but recently, and especially with the way that I show up for myself now, I attract different types of, people. I'm like, I probably really see myself. I could see myself maybe doing it again. And I could see myself being monogamous or polygamous. It's like whatever, my energy is being pulled towards that time. But I very much so can see me living that life that I thought that I was like totally okay if I never experienced again. So I did open myself back up to that recently. I did.
That is music to my ears. So I'm very happy to hear that. And thank you for the compliment. And that's exactly what I mean. I like, even if you take the traditional part out, it's like people, I'm like, do y'all have conversations before y'all get married? Like y'all literally not on the same page, in the same house, on the same planet. Like what?
Y'all don't even like none of this. Like y'all don't even like none of the same stuff. How did y'all end up? The video that you posted was fire, but how do y'all function outside of this video on this reel on Instagram that got however many likes? Because
like wedding pictures was lit, but yeah. We definitely are gonna have to talk about relationships because even your point to how you have done soul searching to see, okay, what is next for me? Like, do that shit not happen anymore? I be telling Jesus, I just be like, Lord, please. I can't be out in the streets. I can't. I just, for the stuff that I see and hear, I'm just like,
streets ain't for nobody.
What do you, that really happened? People are really saying that, like, girl. And then TikTok really, them people up there with them story time. TikTok really has me like, no, I could never be in a dating pool again. Like, it's just not for me. Like, yeah, it's a wild world. So we're definitely gonna have to do some relationship
episodes. Should we have a couple? Should we have
girl? I'm down. I love me a good conversation.
You gotta get Brandon to come in. Then we gotta have like another couple come on. You gotta get Brandon to come up there. Yeah,
I'm gonna work on it. He be trying to be private, like, sir. Who your wife is, but whatever. Yeah, we're gonna have to do relationships. Yeah.
So it's settled then. We are gonna
go ahead and work on whoever gonna be our guest for our polygamy episode. Cause
I know. Look, let me.
I am gonna be ready, honey. I cannot wait. I cannot freaking wait. Okay,
it might be one we have to break down into 2 parts. I feel like
for real, because that's
gonna get going.
I have so many questions already. Like, I need to know what is what.
Yeah. So,
wow.
I feel like that was a pretty good summary there. Did you have any other questions? I don't have any.
I don't. But I guess this is the end of season 3.
Mm-hmm. This is the end of season 3. It's been 3 seasons. We started we did the couch conversations 2019. But when did we do season 1 like that spring? I feel like it was that spring.
We actually did it in 2020.
Right. spring of 2020, right? Or was it
Couch
summer?
Conversations was like that January of 2020.
You're right, it was January.
Before the world fell apart. So that is crazy because it just doesn't seem that long ago.
Like, I remember us meeting that might have been season 2, but when we met at Egg Bistro to like go over what the episodes was going to be, I feel like that was not that long ago, but that was like over a year some change. So insane.
Christ.
Yeah. And y'all know y'all be hearing the little ads and stuff on our episodes. We up to $9 and monetized.
We are lit, okay?
We about to get a payout.
Okay.
I think that's so cool though. Like
it is. We are so lit. I'm like, we're bomb. We're so bomb. Y'all have to follow us.
Yes.
You said what?
Grateful for our consistent listeners.
Yes. Right. Thank you. Whoever subscribed and has listened to us. I know sometimes y'all be like, what in the hell? But hey, it's just us living our lives. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram because we are trying to get more consistent with our live chat. So yeah, if you ever listen to us and you're finding yourself talking back to us or you want to ask something in the moment, definitely follow us on Instagram. So yeah, you can be a part of our live chats, and all our stuff is Brown Skin Blueprint. So yeah,
follow us, stay tuned. As always, like Brittany said, if you have a topic, just drop it. And we hope that you guys have enjoyed this episode. Happy birthday to us.
Yes.
Happy birthday. And y'all celebrate yourself more and have fun.
For sure. Just live life. It's short.
Yes, it is. Yeah. All right, y'all. See y'all next time.
Bye.